how one detail changed everything: Forrest's autism and public judgment. The moment Forrest mentioned he was autistic completely shifted the tone of the conversation, because people began reassessing his behavior not as something inappropriate, but as something shaped by vulnerability and dependence, revealing how a single piece of information can transform public judgment. What I find truly revealing is how quickly viewers softened their reactions once they understood his neurological context, proving that society often struggles to interpret behavior outside typical patterns until a label provides a framework for empathy. The comments suggesting he might be on the wrong show reflect a widespread misunderstanding about what autonomy looks like for neurodivergent adults, and this assumption exposes how easily people underestimate the capacity for meaningful relationships when someone does not navigate emotions in the usual way. Many viewers expressed that the mother's involvement suddenly made more sense once they learned about his autism, and this demonstrates how support systems are often judged harshly until people understand the emotional needs that shape them, especially when those needs are not visible at first glance. I see a deeper conversation here about how society tends to conflate discomfort with misunderstanding, because the moment viewers realized his intentions were innocent, they no longer framed the scene as eerie, showing how perception is tied less to action and more to assumed motivation. What stands out is how people began defending him, urging others to relax, which highlights how empathy can emerge once viewers recognize emotional challenges, yet it also raises the question of why compassion requires an explanation rather than being offered from the start. Several comments pointed out that he is an adult virgin who trusts his mother deeply, and this narrative reveals how audiences struggle to balance respect for independence with acknowledgement of emotional reliance, especially when these traits exist simultaneously. This situation encourages a broader reflection on how reality television treats neurodiverse participants, because moments like these remind us that editing choices, pacing, and silence can exaggerate awkwardness instead of illuminating authenticity. For me, the most important takeaway is that perception changed not because the behavior changed, but because viewers suddenly saw the humanity behind the behavior. A shift that raises important questions about how many other scenes in reality TV are misinterpreted before context appears. I think this topic deserves more discussion, and I'm curious whether you felt your own view shifting once that detail emerged, or whether you interpret his actions the same way, regardless of labels or explanations.